Kidzmet is a tool for parents and teachers to understand how kids are uniquely wired to learn. It's like a personality test. It's something that the kids can take in between 10 and 20 minutes, something for everywhere from a 4.5, 5-year-old all the way up to a 12-year-old to take. So it's younger than most of the personality type profiles that are out there. It'll help parents and teachers understand what homework approaches and tactics to take with their kids, what skills developments they really need to focus in on, how kids should interact with others based on what their profiles look like, what methods they use to really file information in their brains, and then what contexts to use to really help connect that child with the information that they're trying to teach them. When they have a classroom full of 30 learners, it's really hard to connect with each of those kids. But by using our tool, they can say, this is the way that my class as a whole works better. I'm a very visual learner, so I'm okay sitting down at a desk and sort of going through and doing something first before I talk to somebody about it. Lana, who's my daughter, on the other hand, is extroverted, and she is a kinesthetic learner to the core. I don't learn the same way that she does. She doesn't learn the same way that her dad does. She doesn't learn the same way that her brother does. When I tell her, hey, go focus on your studies in your room, or go do your homework in your room and talk to me about it later, that's exactly the opposite of what we should be doing. She needs to talk about it first. She needs to sort of cement it in her mind that way. And it's been so empowering for us as a family to not only know that for our kids, but to be able to hand that information over to their new teachers and know that when the bell rings on the very first day of school, their new teachers know how to connect with our kids. It's just so standardized now, all the way down to the standardized test. It makes me feel so frustrated when teachers aren't using this kind of information, because whether or not a teacher is connecting with your child can be the difference between whether a spark of passion gets flamed and fanned into a fire, or whether it gets put out. And that is not okay. What we are all about at Kidzmet is so much further beyond just the visual, auditory, kinesthetic learner that so many people have heard about. We go into something called multiple intelligences, which really keys into the kids' interests and strengths on a variety of different levels. Number smarts and music smarts and picture smarts and self smarts and people smarts and body smarts, and there are 8 of them. And then we also really key into, as you heard earlier, personality type, because you know what? Personality type matters when you choose a spouse. Personality type matters when you choose a career. Personality type matters in your work and whether or not you enjoy your work because you are compatible with your colleagues. And you know what? Personality type matters in learning. And it matters when you're in kindergarten. And you need to learn to play to your personality's unique strengths as early as possible. We've also got a student segmenter tool where they can go in on their smartphone and just say, I want to break my students into groups of 4. It's going to be an intro lesson. We're focused on number smarts. And when they hit break, it automatically breaks their students into groups that are compatible in terms of the ways that they like to learn, so that when they're going around and helping those groups, they can help them in similar ways. It's not based on whether you're a slow learner, a medium learner, or a fast learner. It's how you like to learn. We got a testimonial just a little bit ago from a teacher and administrator that said, I wish this amazing tool was available when my daughter was in elementary school, because there was, even with my background as an educator, there was no way for me to ensure that her teachers knew how she ticked. While we created it for parents and teachers, we have one teacher who's in the junior high realm who shared it with 120 of her students. And so now her students know how they learn best. And it was really eye-opening for them to say, my gosh, this is the way that I should be learning. It's not the cookie cutter approach that they learned in school. It was this.